What kind of dishes do people usually make with flour in your country? Flour is one of the most basic ingredients in any kitchen, serving as the main staple food for many nations around the world. Depending on the region, it can be transformed into countless different meals, from bread, pizza, and pasta in Europe to noodles, steamed cakes, or dumplings in Asia. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a flour-based dish that comes from Vietnam, steamed buns with pork and egg, a meal that is delicious, nutritious, and super convenient for the whole family. But what makes a truly great steamed bun? It all comes down to little secrets. How do you get the wrapper to be soft, fluffy, and not tough or dry after steaming? And how do you make the pork filling rich and perfectly bound with salted egg yolk? All those amazing tips will be revealed in detail in the video right after this. Don't forget to watch until the end and write down these useful secrets for your own kitchen. To get started, we need to prepare the ingredients for the dough wrapper. The first step, and arguably the most important one when making bao buns, is activating the yeast. We pour 600 milliliters of fresh milk into a large bowl. Unlike regular bread that uses plain water, we use fresh milk for bao because it makes the dough softer, gives it a nicer aroma, and results in a beautiful white color. The milk needs to be at room temperature or gently warmed up to about 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. We shouldn't use hot or cold milk, as that will kill the yeast. Now, add 10 g of dry yeast into the warm milk. A special point in our bao recipe is that we activate the yeast separately with the milk first. We don't mix it directly with the flour and salt like you would for regular bread. Next, pour 3 tablespoons of sugar into the bowl with the yeast. The sugar is essentially food for the yeast. The yeast will use the sugar to create CO2 gas, which helps the dough rise and become fluffy. Using a spoon or chopsticks, stir gently until both the yeast and the sugar are completely dissolved in the milk. Be careful not to overstir. We want to mix it lightly so we don't break up the yeast structure. Now, let the milk-yeast-sugar mixture sit for about 10 to 15 minutes so the yeast can wake up. You'll see little bubbles forming on the surface and the mixture will get cloudier. That means your yeast is active. If you don't see any bubbles after 15 minutes, it means your yeast might be dead or the milk wasn't warm enough. Just start over with fresh yeast. As you can see, the yeast is working really well. While we wait for the yeast to activate, let's prepare the dry ingredients. Pour 1 kilogram of all-purpose flour into a large bowl. It needs to be big enough so we have plenty of room to mix and knead later on. Add 10 grams of baking powder to the flour. Baking powder helps the buns rise even more when they hit high heat during steaming, giving them that characteristic light fluffiness found in East Asian steamed buns. Unlike making bread which only relies on yeast, buns use both yeast and baking powder for optimal lift. Next, add 2 grams of salt to the bowl. Salt doesn't just balance out the sweetness with a slight savory note, it also helps strengthen the gluten structure. Mix the flour, baking powder, and salt thoroughly using a whisk or spoon until all the dry ingredients are evenly combined. After about 10 to 15 minutes, your milk-yeast-sugar mixture should have foam on top and that distinct yeasty aroma. That's when we start mixing the dough. Instead of just mixing the yeast directly into the dry flour like you might for bread, this method helps distribute the yeast evenly and allows it to work more powerfully. Create a well in the center of your dry flour mixture, like making a little bowl shape. Slowly pour the activated milk-yeast-sugar mixture into that well. And now, we're going to start mixing the dough. This is the crucial next step for creating perfectly soft and fluffy buns. Where are you watching this video from? Please comment below so I know. It's great to know that we see each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you can subscribe by pressing the subscribe button. I really appreciate your support. Now that we've poured the milk-yeast mixture into the flour, let's start mixing. Mix until the dough comes together into a rough mass. At this point, add 50 milliliters of cooking oil to the batter mix. Did you know what role cooking oil plays in making bánh bao? First, the oil coats the gluten molecules, preventing them from linking up too tightly. This helps keep the buns soft and prevents them from becoming tough like bread. Since bread needs chewiness, but bon bao needs to be fluffy and tender, oil is the secret ingredient to achieving that. Second, cooking oil helps the buns retain moisture for longer, so they don't dry out when they cool down. Third, it helps give the crust a bright white, smooth appearance after steaming. So, never skip this tip about using cooking oil in your bon bao recipe. Next step. Take the dough out onto a clean surface, and sprinkle a little dry flour on it to prevent sticking. Start kneading the dough. This is a crucial step that determines how soft the crust will be. You should knead for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Use your palms to press down firmly, fold the dough over itself, turn it 90 degrees, and repeat this process. If you get too tired kneading by hand, you can use a stand mixer on low speed for about 8 to 10 minutes. Kneading helps develop gluten, that's an elastic protein network that keeps the bread rising evenly and gives it a soft, chewy texture. Here's a trick to test if your kneaded dough is ready. Press your finger into the dough, and if it springs back immediately, it's good to go. When the dough is perfect, it will feel smooth, won't stick to your hands, and have a glossy surface. Once you've finished kneading, put the dough in a bowl. Cover the bowl tightly with plastic wrap or a damp cloth to prevent the surface from drying out. Place the bowl in a warm spot, away from drafts, and let it proof for about 1 to 1.5 hours until it has doubled in size. During this rising time, the yeast converts sugars into CO2 gas and ethanol, which causes the dough to puff up and develop its characteristic airy structure. When the dough has doubled, you should see many small air pockets on the surface, a sign of perfect fermentation. While we wait for the dough to rise, let's make the filling. It's the soul of this dish. Look, here are all the ingredients I've prepped and chopped for about 25 to 30 steamed buns. We need 400 grams of cooked and finely chopped pork. Try to pick one with a lean-to-fat ratio of 7 to 3. Then we have 25 to 30 peeled, hard-boiled quail eggs. Next, 1 or 2 stalks of chopped spring onions and 1 shallot, which you'll peel and slice up finely. For the mushrooms, we need 30 grams of straw mushrooms. Make sure they are washed clean, soaked in warm water for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then chopped. And finally, just 1 carrot, cut very small. Now, let's start stir-frying the filling. This step is what gives the steamed buns their rich flavor. Heat up a pan on the stove, add a little cooking oil, and sauté the chopped shallots over medium heat. Once the shallots are fragrant, add the ground pork to the pan and stir-fry over high heat. Why do we need to use high heat? High temperatures help the meat cook quickly, firm up, and retain its natural sweetness without releasing too much liquid. Stir-fry until the meat firms up, turns an off-white color, and becomes slightly crumbly. Now it's time to season things. Pour 1 tablespoon of fish sauce into the pan and stir everything until the flavor coats every piece of meat. Fish sauce boosts that umami flavor, that deep, rich taste characteristic of Asian cuisine. Add the chopped carrots and stir them well. By now, the meat and carrots are partially cooked through. I'm going to add some seasoning powder and salt to the pan to balance the savory flavor, which really brings out the natural sweetness of the meat and carrots. Adding half a teaspoon of ground pepper cuts through any gamey smell and gives it a warm, aromatic scent that stimulates the appetite. Incorporating wood ear mushrooms adds a delightful crunch and helps absorb moisture, preventing the filling from becoming dry or watery when steamed. The spring onions add a fresh aroma, balancing the richness of the meat while also giving it an appealing color. All these ingredients combine to create a perfect blend of salty, sweet, and slightly spicy notes, making the filling rich and flavorful, never bland. This results in the signature soft, crunchy, creamy, and refreshing texture characteristic of Vietnamese steamed buns. The dough is finished proofing. You can see how much it's risen, it's doubled in size, and the surface is smooth with lots of little air pockets. Take the dough out of the bowl and place it on a floured surface. Now, gently knead the dough for about 2 or 3 minutes to release any excess carbon dioxide gas. This helps make the dough smoother and ensures that the air pockets in the bread are evenly distributed, neither too big nor too small. Divide the dough into equal portions. For medium buns, you'll want each portion to be about 60 to 70 grams. Use your hands to roll each piece of dough into a ball. This is just a basic shaping technique for baking. Take a ball of dough, flatten it gently, and then roll it out with your rolling pin. This step requires careful attention and skill. Be sure that when you roll the dough, the edges must be thinner than the center. When wrapping the item, the edges will overlap to create folds. If the edges are too thick, they won't seal properly and might fall apart during steaming. The center should be slightly thicker to ensure the wrapper doesn't tear when holding a heavy filling inside. A correctly rolled piece of dough should be round, with a diameter of about 10 to 12 centimeters. Keep rolling out all the divided portions of dough until they are thin like this. Now we're going to put the prepared filling into the rolled out dough. For each bun, we'll add 1 quail egg and enough of our mixed filling. After that, we need to wrap it up. The word bao means to wrap in Vietnamese, which is why they are called bon bao. Once the filling is wrapped, place the buns on parchment paper. Make sure you put the folded part underneath so that the paper covers it completely. This way, we'll have perfectly round and beautiful buns. Keep adding people and figures like that to the rest of the steamed buns. The buns are ready to steam. First, pour water into the steamer and add vinegar. This creates a slightly acidic environment that stabilizes the starch color and limits the Maillard reaction. This helps keep the bun crust pure white and beautiful. Next, set up the steaming rack in the pot and place the buns on the rack one by one. Be sure to leave about 2 to 3 centimeters space between each bun because they will expand significantly while steaming. Don't just cover the steamer basket with a lid, wrap a cloth around it to absorb condensed water. This prevents water from dripping onto the cakes, keeping the crust dry, smooth, and not mushy. Once the water boils, reduce the heat and steam the buns for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then, let the buns rest in the steamer for another 5 minutes so that the temperature can drop gradually. This helps the bun maintain its structure and prevents thermal shock. This step is crucial because it keeps the buns from collapsing and ensures they stay fluffy longer. And here we have it, our finished product, pure white, soft, delicate steamed buns that puff up like cotton when you squeeze them, smelling wonderfully of flour and savory filling. When you peel open a bun, you'll see the light, airy crust surrounding a rich filling with creamy quail eggs in the center. This is the authentic taste of Vietnamese bao. If you try making these and think they are delicious, please tag me on social media so I know. The video ends here. If you have any comments or feedback, please leave them below. If you found this video interesting, give it a like. Don't forget to share the video with your family and friends. And remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Goodbye. See you in the next video.